I'd like to call the Gurnee Village Board regular meeting of October 9th, 2017 to order. Roll call, please, Andy.
Ross.
Here.
Garner.
Here.
Balmas.
Present.
Hood.
Here.
Thorstensen.
Here.
Jacobs.
Here.
6 present.
All right, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The sound of silence. Beautiful new chairs. Great job so far, Scott. All right, welcome. Good evening. It's nice to see everybody here, especially the little ones.
It didn't even dawn on me.
First up is public comment. If someone would like to address the board. All right, if not, we'll have another opportunity at the end of the meeting. I'll move on to approval of the consent agenda as presented. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Garner. Roll call, please.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Aye.
6 aye.
All right, motion carries. Patrick, please read the consent agenda into the record.
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the September 25th, 2017 Village Board meeting. Item number 2, approval of setting a bid date of October 31st, 2017 for calendar year 2018 fuel purchase. Item number 3, approval of payroll for period ending September 29, 2017 in the amount of $804,296.94. Item number 4, approval of bills for the period ending October 9, 2017 in the amount of $1,745,971.02.
All right, switch glasses. Thank you, Patrick. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as read into the record?
Second.
Motion by trustee Garner, second by trustee Jacobs. Roll call.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Aye.
6 aye.
All right, motion carries. We'll move on to petitions and communications. And it is a wonderful night tonight, and we are excited to be administering the oath of office for the promotion of Police Commander Brian Smith to Deputy Police Chief. So, Kevin, you'll join me in front. Brian. Right hand, repeat after me. I, Brian Smith,
I, Brian Smith,
having been appointed to the office of Deputy Chief
having been appointed to the office of Deputy Chief
in the village of Gurnee,
in the village of Gurnee,
in the county of Lake,
in the county of Lake,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Deputy Chief
the duties of the office of Deputy Chief
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Sure. You want to do the pinning first? Jacob, are you doing this? Just like we practiced now. All right, I guess the mic is mine. Thank you, Jacob. You did a wonderful job. We practiced quite a bit. So he was nervous, but you did great, buddy. I'm proud of you. Thank you. I'd like to thank my wife, Tracy, if you could come up, please. My mom and dad, Don and Kathy, my father-in-law, Jim. You guys join me here, please. Obviously, this profession is not always easy on the family. And with Tracy and I both being police officers, we would not be able to do the job that we do without Jacob's grandparents to be available and to step in at a minute's notice sometime. So thank you guys, all of you, for helping us and being available. Mom and Dad, thank you guys. You've always been there for me. You've always supported me a lot recently. So thank you guys very much. To the board, thank you. Mr. Mutes, Mayor, thank you for the support and the opportunity. Chief Woodside, I appreciate the opportunity. I hope to make you proud. To the men and women of the Gurnee Police Department, I wouldn't be here without you guys and your support and the trust that you have given me, that it's allowed me to do the job that I do. Nobody can do any of the jobs in our profession by themselves. It does truly take a team, and throughout my career I've been blessed with what has always been the best team. So thank you guys all very much. I appreciate your support. Thank you for being here. And again, thank you to my family. I love you guys. Thank you very much.
All right, this community continues to be in good hands with Deputy Chief Smith. Sounds nice. Oh, now we have... All right, we have a proclamation designating October 8th through 14th as Fire Prevention Week. The Village of Gurnee is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting the village. And fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally. And homes are where people are at the greatest risk from fire. And roughly half of all residential fire deaths result from fires reported at night between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. when most people are asleep. And according to NFPA research, working smoke alarms cut the chance of dying in a fire in half. And Gurnee's first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire deaths and injuries through prevention and proper education. And the 2017 Fire Prevention Week theme, Every Second Counts, Plan 2 Ways Out, effectively serves to reinforce why everyone needs to have an escape plan. In a fire, seconds count. Seconds can mean the difference between residents escaping safely from a fire or having their lives end in tragedy. Now, therefore, I, Christina Kavark, Mayor of the Village of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim October 8th through 14th, 2017, to be Fire Prevention Week throughout the Village of Gurnee, and encourage all residents to take the time to discuss, prepare, and practice home escape plans with their family members. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Trustee Ross, second by Trustee Balmas. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Our second proclamation is Red Ribbon Week from October 23rd to 31st. Your future is key, so stay drug-free. The Village of Gurnee values the health and safety of all our citizens, and alcohol and other drug abuse in this nation has reached epidemic stages, and substance abuse is particularly damaging to one of our most valuable resources, our children, and a contributing factor in the 3 leading causes of death for teenagers: accidents, homicides, and suicides. And the red ribbon was chosen as a symbol commemorating the work of Enrique Camarena, a drug enforcement administration agent who was murdered in the line of duty and has come to represent the belief that one person can make a difference. And the Red Ribbon Week campaign theme of Your Future is the Key, so stay drug-free promotes family and individual responsibilities for living drug-free lifestyles without illegal drugs or the illegal use of legal drugs. Now therefore I, Christina Kavarik, Mayor of the Village of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim October 23rd through 31st, 2017 as Red Ribbon Week in Gurnee, and the village encourages all citizens, businesses, and public and private agencies, among others, to wear and display red ribbons and participate in drug-free activities throughout the week, joining the rest of the country to establish an atmosphere that supports awareness, education, and ongoing initiatives to prevent illegal drug use. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Garner, second by trustee Balmas. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. I'm sure Tammy will be busy with
Yeah. fire
education in the schools. All right. That's the end of our petitions and communications, so we're going to move on to reports. First one is extremely important by our finance director, Brian, for the first quarter of our new fiscal year. So,
All right, thank you, Mayor.
Brian.
Take it away,
Brian,
Brian.
okay, take it away.
Included in the materials, the first quarter financial report. This is for the period ended July 31st, 2017. First quarter, so there's not a whole lot of trends we can identify yet, but there's a couple things I'd like to point out. Before we get into the numbers, just a quick review on where we're at in the process. Fiscal year 17 is completed with the presentation of the annual financial report, which is set for October 23rd. This is the first quarterly report for fiscal year 18. And then FY 19, fiscal year 19 planning has begun with the preparation of the multi-year plans. That's the financial forecast and the capital plan. Looking at cash and investments, finished the quarter at just over $32 million. The general fund made up 68% of that, the water and sewer fund 14%, and the capital fund 7%. 40% of all cash on hand was held in money market accounts, primarily at the Illinois funds, 29% in checking accounts at First Midwest, and 31% in the short-term fixed income investments. Versus the 91-day T-bill rate of 0.99, the village's portfolio is earning a weighted average of 0.912. This is the first time in a while that we've seen that spread kind of go the other way with the pace of interest rate increases. We're looking at a couple things that we can do. First Midwest already agreed to increase our earnings credit voluntarily, so that was that will help that out a little bit. And also later in the summer, probably next summer after we get past Munis, I'd like to take a look at doing some cash forecasting and things like that to see where we can maybe have some opportunities to earn a little better. Looking at major revenues in the general fund. If you remember, these account for about 75% of all revenues. They finished the quarter with a positive variance of 2.65%, or about $181,000 versus budget, 0.65 or $45,000 ahead of the same period last year. I'll just hit a couple of high notes here. Sales taxes trailing budget slightly 0.57 and last year by 0.72. Unfortunately, we do see this trend continue through the second quarter. The second quarter is where we see the impact of the additional administrative fee on the home rule sales tax, so we'll see that coming next quarter. Income taxes, well ahead of budget in last year. This is due to primarily the state accelerating one payment as part of the 10%, I guess, reduction. They were going to accelerate two payments. We received the first one in the first quarter. It's not really an acceleration because they delayed them years back, so we're essentially getting money that was due to us from prior years. Telecom taxes continue to slide. We've seen this trend over the years. We did budget for a 7% drop, which is why you have a positive budget variance and a negative year-to-year actual variance. Hotel taxes are down 43.61% from last year and about 3% versus budget. Here we see the impact of Key Lime Cove. So that's where that shows up. And then building permits, as they have for the last few years, are going strong in the first quarter here. So some good positive variances there.
David's carrying the whole village right now.
He has for a little while, I think. Just looking at the general fund, no real surprises here. Again, it's through the first quarter, so it's hard to pinpoint things that aren't timing related. So I'll just point out a couple major timing issues and some variances in bigger categories. Obviously, taxes, you can see on there, it's over the 25%. That's due to the timing of the road and bridge taxes. License and permits due to the timing of business and liquor licenses. Intergovernmental revenues here, we see the timing of the replacement tax receipts. Charges for service finished the quarter at 19.66% of budget, primarily due to the timing of the first Zion dispatch charge. We'll see that come through in the second quarter, and then every quarter after that. Interest and contributions here, we'll finish the quarter at 35%. Here we're seeing the benefit of that short-term investment account. So strong dividends there. Not dividends, but fixed income. Salaries and wages on the expenditure side are at 25.78. Again, June was a 3 payroll month, so we see the impact of that. On the employee benefits side, finished just over budget, but we also have the full year of the workers' comp insurance premium in there as well. Contractual services, we see the timing of some seasonal contracts, primarily in public works. And then other contractual services, here we see the impact of the other insurance premiums, the liability property insurance premiums there, the timing of that payment. On the water and sewer side, on the expenditure side, it's the same thing as the general fund, the timing of insurance payments. On the revenue side, however, we are seeing a drop in water usage. Last year we had it go up 3-4%. This year through the first quarter, we're down about 5.5% over last year. So we'll keep an eye on that.
July was pretty wet, if you remember.
I remember a couple things that probably impact that number, but that was definitely one of them. So, and again, here we see the impact in the investments and contributions category here for the investment account. Police and fire pensions. On the police side, average portfolio of $43.9 million. Fund had investment income through the first quarter of $1.4 million. That gives us an annualized return of 12.86. On a 12-month rolling average, 8.07%, and a 36-month rolling of 6.4. So we're getting closer to our actuarial assumption, which is a good thing. On the fire side, average portfolio of $33.9 million. Fund had investment income through the first quarter about $960,000. That gives us an annualized return of 11.33. On a 12-month rolling basis, 9.7%, and 36-month, just over 6%. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions from the trustees? All right.
It's early, still early, and I mean revenues are just a tick behind, and expenditures are just a tick ahead. But like Brian said, that was a 3 payroll, and the insurance premium, which is $2 million, being paid all up front. So that will catch up here as time goes by. But continue to track sales tax for sure, with it being basically flat within $20,000 of last year is not a great start. So we'll see.
Is Great Wolf on schedule? Or are they behind because of the beavers thing?
They're on schedule. We're got about a week behind, but they've caught back up.
Okay. So that's good for spring. All right. So thank you, Brian. And let's see, now we have a presentation by Village Engineer Scott Drabicki for our 2016-17 All Natural Hazards Mitigation Plan Progress Report.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is our annual presentation to the Board of Trustees and putting the notification out to the public regarding our All Natural Hazards Plan and the progress we've made this past year. The document that we're currently operating on is dated in 2012 and will be updated a little bit later in the evening tonight with a revised plan. This requirement to do these all natural hazard mitigation plans came out of the DMA in the year 2000 from Congress. The plan is required to be adopted by the community if we are looking to get grant funding. And the Village of Gurnee is a very active participant in grant funding acquisition under the PDM and HMGP funds. We use those grant programs to acquire properties in the floodplain along the Des Plaines River and demolish the homes in the floodplain and create open space. So we are incentivized to do these plans and actively participate in them. So the idea behind these is to identify natural hazards in our community and what could potentially impact our residents and our business owners, assess our vulnerability, determine how to minimize and eliminate those risks, and then basically create a living document and stay proactive in reviewing the plan on a regular basis and updating it on a regular basis as well. So of all the natural hazards identified in the Lake County Plan, the top few that I've circled here are really the ones that we really expect to see the most of in this community. Flooding, tornadoes, storms, both summer and winter. So we have seen all of those in the last 10 years, and we've dealt with all of those. So those are the ones that we have a lot of proficiency at. all natural hazards occur throughout the country, throughout the nation. So we're not alone in this. Every different area has different risks that they undertake. The Village of Gurnee our priorities are on these top few here, and you'll see our metrics here are really focused on those. So we do participate in annual programs with the county and all the other communities in Lake County to review the plan and update it and make recommendations for updates. So again, the 2017 update is an action item after this report tonight, and we'll talk about that here shortly. So we adopted the current plan in 2012 as required. We are continuing to work on our improving communications with the public. That's an ongoing process. As each disaster event occurs, we work on getting different ways and getting out to the community and conveying the information that the community needs to survive out there. Building codes, we're currently operating under the 2012 building codes. And the urban forestry, we continue to maintain our certification as a Tree City USA. For sanitary inflow and infiltration, we have $150,000 budgeted for this year towards that program. We have not spent any of that money at this point. I've had kind of a busy summer, so I'm hoping that between now and May 1st, we can start expending some of those funds to help reduce inflow and infiltration. As you recall, in the July storm event, we had some significant sanitary sewer overflows that impacted people's homes. And we previously approved a sanitary sewer mitigation program to help homeowners install an ejector system for the basements that experienced that. We published that in the newsletter this last week, and we've actually had a really good response on that already in the last couple of days now. So I expect we'll be diverting some of this funding towards that to help protect homeowners in the community. Under the flooding mitigation, this is an ongoing annual event for the Village of Gurnee. Unfortunately, in 2016, the grant applications that we did submit, none of them was approved by FEMA. They did not meet the cost-benefit requirements for the houses and the properties that were submitted. That being said, in 2017, which is currently open right now, we are looking to submit 3 to 4 properties with flood insurance that were impacted by the July flood. So these are high-priority targets for the grant programs because these properties have expressed interest in participating in a buyout and a demolition of the property. They currently have flood insurance, and they currently have claims against the insurance program. So these are properties that are continued liability to the National Flood Insurance Program, and the intent behind these grants is to really minimize the number of properties that are going to be repetitive lost properties. We also had the 2017 flood response, so we've had a pretty good year for flooding exercises, for better or for worse here. On the drainage system improvement side of things, if you've been watching the monthly reports here when we put out the construction updates, we've gotten a lot of projects done. There's still a few more in the hopper for this year. The one that's currently pending is over in Providence Oaks Country Trails area over on Kim Court. We have some grading and storm sewer improvements we need to make over in that area. But as you can see here, we've made good inroads. It started off with the Gurnee tributary. That was another beaver problem we had over here at Old Plain and Grand Avenue. The next one here, Providence Oaks Park City Creek, that project, I'm not really joking here. I've been looking at that for 14 years. My entire career, we've been looking to do that improvement. So we finally got that accomplished this year as well. So I'm very, very proud with the progress that our team has made this year. The Village of Gurnee continues to participate in the National Flood Insurance Program and the Community Rating System. The Community Rating System basically states that the Village of Gurnee goes above and beyond the minimum requirements of the National Flood Insurance Program. As a result, Village of Gurnee policyholders are entitled to a discount on their flood insurance policies. So for this year, just for the Village of Gurnee facilities alone, this includes Public Works, Fire Station 1, and the Mother Rudd House, we saved $7,000 on our flood insurance premiums. And really, the Village of Gurnee participates in this, and it's very low, cost to the staff time on our end. These are things we do on an everyday basis to help improve flood protection throughout the community. Moving on to the Storm Ready certification, we continue to maintain that with NOAA. And under the National Incident Management System, 147 of our 205 employees are certified at the basic level. This is a program by which the Village of Gurnee can respond to an incident and basically coordinate how people communicate with each other and communicate with the supervisors and peers out in the field back into the Incident Command Office. Looking to the future and moving on to the next action item here, the 2017 mitigation plan is being presented for approval here this evening. For posterity's sake, we're on the cover of that plan. We have the Gurnee Grade School. during one of the more recent flood events here. So as you are all well aware, the Gurnee Grade School is no longer in the floodplain. It is a beautiful grassy knoll with a gazebo on it, and we have some great pictures of wet grass during the July 2017 flood. So this is why the Village of Gurnee participates in this program, is because the grant monies that become available allow us to remove these severe liabilities from the floodplain, which we obviously have seen come up time and time again throughout history of the Village of Gurnee. Are there any questions I can answer for anybody this evening?
I have one. It kind of came up in the 911 meeting. Are our public buildings, like police and this building, that built to a special standard to withstand like tornado force, like F3, F4, F5, or so? I mean, is there something that in those instances we wouldn't have to, if a tornado came through, we don't have to worry about our buildings, like they could withstand?
I would have to defer to the building official on that. I don't know how they go into that.
I don't believe so.
Not the answer I wanted.
Nice try.
Okay. Wouldn't that be something that we would have to like make sure that we can keep our public services up and running in the event of a disaster?
Absolutely.
So would we just move everything?
I don't know, Mayor. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah,
Where's John Kavanaugh when I need him? I'm just, it kind of struck me when the question came up, could the police station and 911 center withstand a tornado? I'd never asked that, and I think it's a valid question. Okay. Well, you can let me know later. Whoa.
You have a basement at the police station, right?
Do we have a basement at the police station? All right. Let's, Greg, our trustee Garner.
Do we have a dollar figure on the economic impact of July 2017 flood? Is
Yes,
there a number
we do.
Of loss of income to the community?
I mean, Village's hard costs were, what, 160-ish?
For our hard costs, I mean, what we submitted was over, yeah, $500,000, and then it got whittled down. But as far as the hard costs, so around 100. I mean, because of with the waste management bills and the Campanelle bills and all that stuff, I mean, I'd probably say pushing close to 100. That's not figuring in, that doesn't include the staff time because staff would have been here anyways. So, I mean, it was really a quick response. We were out there that Wednesday or whatever it was and got stuff knocked down. So a lot of it was during normal working hours, and it was a lot of work really quick, and then we went into a maintenance stage. So not as big as one would expect, but still a decent chunk.
Sure. And by mitigating, it obviously comes down.
Every one of these structures that comes down is one less we have to deal with when it floods.
Sure. Sure. So it makes sense to do it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Scott. So that's the end of the reports? Okay, no old business?
Correct.
All right, then we're going to move on to new business. First item is approval of Resolution 2017-08,
08.
adopting the 2017 Lake County All Natural Hazards Mitigation Plan. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Motion by trustee Ballmer, second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call?
Ross.
Aye.
Garner. Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Aye.
6-0.
All right, the resolution carries, and we are in compliance. Next up is approval of ordinance 2017-46,
46.
authorizing the execution of an addendum to the Bittersweet Golf Course Management Agreement with Golf Vision Management, Inc. And we have Dirk with us tonight. Patrick, I'll let you introduce it.
Dirk Skelly, our general manager on a Bittersweet, is with us tonight. So as you remember, late 2012, we issued an RFP for management of the course. Golf Visions was subsequently selected as the manager of the course. It was a contract that started with the 2013 season. It was a 5-year contract, so it's up for renewal here or expiration November 5th. Based on our experience with what Golf Visions has done out there, staff is recommending that we renew with them. They've done a great job as far as helping with the reputation of the course. That is not as tough, working on softening the course. The grounds look great, done a great job with the clubhouse, have worked on partnered with village staff in the Park District on getting some non-golf related events in there, like the Frosty Fest, Families on the Fairway. Done a really nice job with the Friday Night Fish Fry. So, I mean, they've just really done a good job. Our goal when Golf Visions came on board was help improve the reputation of the course and be self-sustaining. Don't be coming to us for money to keep operations going. You need to be able to support yourself, and everything we've asked them to do, they've done it. So took a look at the contract. There was just 3 changes that we negotiated with Golf Visions. So it's a 5-year contract. The original contract, the base annual management fee was $33,000, then jumped up to $36,000 for years 3, 4, and 5. We're proposing to increase, or Golf Visions proposed to increase that to $39,000 and just hold that flat for this 5-year contract. Staff took a look at it. We believed it was reasonable. Another change was there's language in there regarding an incentive fee. So based on the performance of the course, where the gross revenues are at, if they hit a certain limit, Golf Visions is entitled to a percentage of that. The original contract was set up as the first couple of years, 10% of $900,000. If they got to $900,000 gross revenue, anything above that, Golf Visions was entitled to 10%. Then it stepped up to anything over $1 million, they were entitled to 15% of that. As we revisited this contract and looked at the financial performance, the gross revenue continues to increase. So staff, Golf Visions made a proposal, staff countered back that we remain at that 15%, but we bump up that gross revenue number by $25,000 to continue to incentivize them to help produce revenue at the course. So they were agreeable to that. Obviously, the net revenue is important to us too, and that's something that Golf Visions has been able to steadily increase, keeping expenses under control, and then tweaking things on the revenue side. So they've been doing good there too. And then the third change is just the original contract had language in there that the village would budget $100,000 in case the course needed assistance. You remember early on when they first got rolling, they came in and took advantage of that, paid us back early on in the contract. Haven't needed to access that clause since then. They've got money in the bank. So as I said, they're self-sustaining, so we don't believe that language is necessary anymore. So we're proposing to remove that language. Just one thing, we don't have to worry about budgeting on the village side. And as I said, they've been able to carry their own weight out there, so it's not something that they need. Obviously, if something headed south and Dirk needed assistance, that would be something we'd bring back to the village board and discuss it at that point in time. But as far as just having that safety net in there, we don't believe it's needed, so we're proposing to eliminate it. So those are the 3 changes. Like I said, Brian, Gosnell, myself, and John Cavanaugh met with Dirk, talked about this. Obviously, Brian on the financial side, and then Cavanaugh is our top secret agent that's always out at the course golfing. So he keeps an eye on the grounds and the clubhouse and all that stuff for us. So staff was, like I said, in support of renewing this with Dirk and his team out there. So that was what is before you for consideration tonight. So if there's any questions that I can answer, Dirk is here.
And I can add that Dirk's a wonderful partner. Anytime we bring any kind of idea to him, just always willing and able and never says no, and we figure out a way to make it work. So thank you. And very responsive to neighbors that abut or contiguous. Gets right on it. So we're not getting those phone calls either. Thank you.
I mean, I've hardly received, if I get 1 or 2 complaints a season, that's a lot, and Dirk is right on top of it. I mean, he knows that's something that's important to us, is keeping those that surround the golf course happy. So that's been a change from how it was previously, the relationship previously between the course and neighbors around there. So
and it is a beautiful, beautiful community amenity. So questions from the trustees about the arrangement or contract?
I'll make the motion.
All right. I have a motion from trustee Garner, second from trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Aye.
6 ayes.
All right. Motion carries.
yeah,
Get to work together 5 more years.
Yeah, and once the season comes to a conclusion here, we'll get Dirk in for a formal report before the village board. So month and a half, something like that, we'll get you in here and you can report on how this year went. So
These have to be bonus weekends.
All kids out there.
Good. All All right, that's the end of our new business. So I will reopen the floor for public comment, if anyone would like to address the board tonight. If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
moved.
Motion by trustee Ballmer, second by trustee Garner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.